Uneducated, unfiltered, unhinged. This is the Mangina Dialogues. We at it again with your host Nick Scopes and the Gregolicious. You know how we do, cause you know we keeping it gangster and silly. Unplugged like a full swung titty. Bout get jitty, cause you know we down to the nitty and the gritty. And we make shit sound so damn pretty. Yeah, cause this unhinged comedy. And right now you're in the mix, so get ready, cause we bout to get it poppin'. And we ain't stopping.
Uneducated, unfiltered, unhinged. This the Mangina Dialogues. We at it again.
Hello and welcome to the Mangina Dialogues. I am your host, Nick Scopes.
And I'm the Gregolicious.
And today we have the very funny Rich Vos as our guest. What's up, my man?
How's it going?
Hey, Rich.
What'd you think of that song, Rich?
Good driving music?
When I think of it, it did absolutely nothing for me. It reminds me of my dumb 12-year-old listens to, and I want to throw her out of the house. Not good,
That's what we're going for.
I mean, she's only 12. I think she's been in our place in the house already 2 years too long to be on her own.
Her and her music. Her shitty hip-hop music.
She can listen to that garbage and wear a do-rag on her head. That's all I care.
Well, listen, that's exactly what I thought you would say. So it actually makes me really happy to hear the review of our terrible song from the amazing Rich Vos.
Play, open up with like maybe some Allman Brothers or Creedence or Neil Young, Cat Stevens, Temptation, something good.
Oh, I would love
Anyhow,
that.
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's
My opinion.
Listen, we agree with you 1,000%. You're not wrong.
Okay. I mean, it's not the song I'm upset about. It's deeper than that. It's the fact I said yes to you two. But let's go.
Hey,
I get to do a podcast Steve Hofstetter did. I wonder whose stuff he stole to talk about on that podcast. Anyhow,
these are great promo bits. Thank you very much. So listen, speaking of your musical tastes, I don't totally disagree with you. Neither Nick or myself are really a fan of the type of music as our intro. It kind of happened by just coincidence. But listening to your podcast, you mentioned that your first concert ever was the Grateful Dead in Philadelphia at the Spectrum. Is that accurate?
that's your first concert. Yeah, the first concert. They played for 5 hours. I go, is this fucking band ever going to stop?
And what did you? Are you a fan now, or from then?
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, I'm a fan of that era of music. Like there was I wasn't like a Deadhead. What are you, crazy? There was a couple. I like some Dead songs. I also saw the Dead, the Allman Brothers, and I'm not sure if the band was with them on that tour, but it was definitely the Dead and the Allman Brothers in D.C. We, ran away from home, me and a friend, or left and hitchhiked down to Washington from Jersey. So we saw that concert, the Dead and the Allman. And I saw the Dead first, but I wasn't, I like a couple songs by the Dead. I like the Allman Brothers better than I like the Dead. But then again, my favorite band back then was The Who.
Right.
Back when I was, in my 20s, younger, early 20s or 19. I was a big fan of The Who. And, whatever.
Are you a big music fan, guy? Do you go see a lot of music, either, in your past or even currently?
Well, back when I was younger, we used to go to concerts nonstop. David Bowie, Elton John, Earth, Wind and Fire, Ohio players, Alice Cooper. I'd seen them all back then. I didn't see Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd, but I wasn't a big fan of Pink Floyd. The last concert I went to was probably maybe 14 years ago.
Wow.
Bonnie and I were in Baltimore, and I went to see, and I had free pass. I saw the New York Dolls on their reunion tour.
Wow.
And I saw the New York Dolls. when they were the New York Dolls at the Waldorf Astoria. at a Halloween costume concert event at the Waldorf, and this is back 74 maybe, 76, 73, around then. And then when we went to see them, their faces all looked like they looked into the ark, like they were just melting older men. Boy, can I fucking be any more boring? Talk about my dub concerts.
No, listen.
I suck.
We've had a lot of not a lot, but a good handful of musicians and music related people on our show, and it's happened to just be by coincidence that a lot of them have been jam bands or jam band related, with the exception of Harley Flanagan from the Cro-Mags. And when I heard you mention that your first concert was Grateful Dead, so was mine. I was just curious as to how that came about. I mean, I know some vague, I can guess around the time that was. Certainly hearing you went to the Allman Brothers and the Grateful Dead. It's just very interesting to me.
Well, it's weird. Like, if we were at a party and you walked over to me and said, hey, my first concert was a Grateful Dead, trying to connect, I would probably throw up and walk away. Oh boy, look what we have in common. Fuck off. What the truth of the matter is, I'll tell you a good concert we went to see. My father took us to this one. We went to see at the Garden, Bob Dylan and the band.
Wow.
I don't even remember who headlined that. It had to be the band headlined that one. Dylan and the band. That was a fucking, that was a great concert to be at back then. I hosted Woodstock '99 on one of the stages for 3 days.
Yeah,
which was so fucking cool.
Yeah, I was leading all up into the Woodstock '99 thing. I actually went to Woodstock '94, not '99. But so, what made that experience so awesome? Is it just being there for 3 days amongst that craziness? And what stage did you host?
Well, I hosted the West stage. The biggest stage was the East,
right?
Where what Tom Papa and Brother Weiss, radio host from Rochester, hosted the East stage, which they asked me if I wanted to one day, and I said no, because there were animals there. They were throwing bottles, playing whatever, glass. There was just animals. My stage was the second biggest stage at Woodstock. It was the East to West. Then they had this big airport hangar that was the alternative stage, I think they called it. So my stage at times got maybe 40, 50, 60,000 people at time. It depends who was playing
right.
at what time of the day. And some bands I got to intro, some I didn't have their own. And then a lot of times I just went up in between and killed time and told them, drink water for fucking $40 a bottle, or, I was doing crowd work a little to the people in the front, just fucking around for 3 days. I had, at one point, I think it was about maybe 50,000 people, 40,000, all yell that I had on tape, and I still have it somewhere. I said, say hi to my daughters, and they all yelled, hi, Jessica, hi, Ellen. So I had about, thousands of people saying that, which I have on tape to my kids. And it was cool stuff, because you go into the, the tent to eat where we ate, and you'd be in line behind, Kid Rock or Korn or some of them, you're just standing there in the line to eat. And a lot of them I didn't know, and some I did know. And it was kind of cool. It was a lot of fun. And because also, too, we're backstage, and we have water, we have everything, and people are out, in the field starving and dying of thirst. And it's good to look down on them like the fucking peasants they are, being the ruler that I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, they signed up for it.
Yeah.
So how is that, though, when you're trying to do, some comedy to people that are there to hear, Limp Bizkit?
Wait, say it again?
How is it when you're trying to do comedy to crowds that big, 40,000 people, or, 20, and they're there to hear, Fred Durst sing, Limp Bizkit songs?
Yeah. Well, Limp Bizkit was on the other stage, but I see what you're saying. I wasn't doing, real bits.
Right.
You know, maybe in the morning or earlier in the day when there was only maybe like 300 or 500 people, 400 or 50 or 100 people at my stage, I might do some stuff, you know, crowd work and a joke here and there. But it was just mainly, you know, bringing up the next band or, you know, in between while they were doing a set breakdown, maybe go out and talk. Who knows? You know, you just even if I was doing material after 3 fucking days, I think I would have ran out back then of material. You know, I wouldn't have had that much.
Right.
I did another show where it was in D.C. and maybe it was about 3 or 4 years ago. It was, you know, a drug addiction awareness concert, and it was at the Washington Monument. It was maybe 10 or 15,000 people, and I hosted that, and it was Steven Tyler, Sheryl Crow, some band, The Fray, all these musicians, and I did go out and do like 10 minutes of stand-up, but it was a lot of people also in recovery, which was great, you know, because I'm in recovery.
Right.
So, and then I introduced the bands on most of them. So that was really cool, you know. And it was only like a 5-hour event. It wasn't all day, you know, for 3 days.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
So
I'm a cool dude.
Clearly. You're hanging with us. You got to be the coolest.
You are, man. Speaking of cool, I was
Yeah.
watching your Def Jam comedy set last night, and I don't know if you're a hip hop fan or not, but you were certainly dressed like one in that show. Was that? Did you get dressed up for that? Go ahead.
What happened was I went there with my clothes. I mean, I did have just pants, and I had a Fila back when Fila was popular, Fila sweatshirt. But
yes.
When I got there, they said Russell Simmons, who was the producer, and it was his show.
Yep.
They said Russell wants you to wear his clothes. He wants you to wear Fat Farm and the pants and everything. And being it was his show, and I was being the first white guy to do it, I'm going to have to wear what Russell tells me to wear. You know, unless it was diapers or something. Like, I'm not George Clinton, but I didn't have. I still have the hoodie that they gave me, but yeah, I had to wear what they told me to wear.
Yeah, dude.
So,
When I saw your outfit,
you know,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just
real
saying
quick.
that. I was just saying that he. When I saw that outfit, I was like, "There's no way he picked that. There's no way that's what he showed up in." Like, I know Russell said there has to be something else to this.
Yeah, I didn't even know what fucking Fat Farm. I probably did know, but I didn't have any. Also, too, if I did that set now, back then, I mean, that was 20 years ago. I definitely pandered to the audience. I mean, I did grow up in an urban or a black neighborhood, but I definitely was more pandering and, you know, acting more fucking street or, you know, trying to pander. If I did that set now, I'd be sitting on a stool just talking, and either the audience would go for it or not. You know, maybe not sitting, but it was definitely, I did a lot of pandering back then. And it's not because I was trying to be something I'm not. I grew up like that, but I did exaggerate my performance or the way I talked or moved, or you know, obviously you know what I'm saying. I was a sellout, a fucking sellout. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm talking a lot because I haven't talked to anybody.
Man.
Was that how intimidating was it going into that show? You know, obviously knowing that you're the first white guy to, you know, comedian to go on that show, but also what those audiences are. You know, when you look back on those things with, you know, the Night at the Apollo and obviously the early Def Comedy Jams, like I imagine that had to be intimidating, you know, for even the most prepared, seasoned person.
It was. I'll tell you why it was the scariest thing I ever did or time. One, they were taping in New York. That year they did it. They had all these celebrity, different hosts like Chris Rock, Chappelle, Steve Harvey, you know, every other year they had one host, either
Right.
Mark Lawrence or. So the year I did, they had all the. So they're taping all week long, and you're hearing throughout the city what comics are killing, what ones are having a tough time. You know, there's 10 comics a night, 2 different shows, and they're doing it every night. So you keep hearing who's doing well, and it's building up. Then I went to one in the tapings to watch. I saw this guy fucking bomb. Oh, holy fuck. So I was on the last night, the last show. So the comics that were still in town stayed and went and watched. The hosts that were still in town went and watched. I'm on the last show, and I'm going second to last. So it's all building up to, a week full of anxiety, to the fact that I'm almost the last act of the week out of, 50 fucking acts. And it was fucking nerve-wracking. I thought I was going to have a fucking heart attack. And there was only one more scary experience. We were roasting Trump at the Hill. It was a Friars roast. It's when Friars and the Comedy Central split up, but the Friars still did their roast every year. So it's Trump, and there was 2,000 people in the fucking ballroom at the Hilton. And everybody who meant anything in New York was there. My father, Opie and Anthony Norton, my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, every club owner, anybody that had anything to do with entertainment was there. The first act goes on and just kills like he's never killed. This guy, Stewie Stone. Susie Essman goes on, and I got to go. I really thought I was going to end my career. I was as nervous as I've ever been in my life. And I almost snuck out the back and off the panel and just left and walked out. It was the scariest fucking moment. And my opening joke, Regis Philbin was the host. It was a month after Rodney Dangerfield died. So I walked out and I go, Regis wasn't the original host. They asked Rodney to do it, but he said, I'd rather be dead. And it got almost a 0. It got almost a 0. And it was just, and I pulled it out because Belzer went on before me and fucking ate it. And I said, you fucking me, I'll bring Belzer back. And, but 3 of my jokes were quoted in all the papers.
Right.
But it was the scariest thing I've ever done. That and Def Jam. That Def Jam and this. This is the third.
Right. That's so funny. Well, at least it turned out for you.
What's that?
At least it turned out well.
I'm a yapping little. On a 1 to 10 scale, that roast was probably. I did like a set. I didn't destroy, but I didn't embarrass myself either.
Right.
So
Rich, how did
I don't.
Go ahead. Hello. Oh, I was gonna say.
Hello.
Rich,
Yeah.
How'd you get started in comedy?
Shut your mouth. How did I get started? I don't know. I failed at everything else.
This is your last ditch effort.
I did open mics. I don't fucking know, and I worked my way up to the fucking mega star and genius that I am. Okay.
Well, Nick's going down that road. Nick's starting out with Nick is on the same path of failing at everything else he's done so far in his life, and he's giving stand up a try.
Yeah, of course. Duh.
Which one of you Nick, you do stand up? You're new at it?
Yeah.
You couldn't have picked a better time.
Right? Well, you mean, are you saying this is kind of like a resurgence of everything. It's a good time, I guess, but also with this virus shit kind of sucks. But
Yeah, I'm saying with the virus, you're not going to get, I'm sure you weren't getting work to begin with, and now you're really not getting. You think you didn't get work then? Now you're really not getting work because when you're new, it's hard. I'm not saying you're good or bad or whatever. I'm just saying when you're new, it's hard to get on stage. So now, I mean, obviously, none of us are getting on stage now, and who even knows what's going to happen when this is all done?
Yeah.
Who even knows what clubs? You guys ever go on Facebook?
Yeah, of course.
You ever see these posts that say 10 celebrities I met, one is alive,
Yeah.
or 10 bands I saw live, one is alive.
Yep.
You've seen those, right?
Yep.
I was gonna put on Facebook, which I'm not. 10 comedy clubs I hope close, one is alive.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. So, to that, what you're saying about getting on stage, the way me and Nick got together is we started doing shows together. So I started a couple of shows out here in Connecticut, and really it was just because I saw Nick doing stand-up and was really impressed with how he was standing out as opposed to a lot of the other people around, and it wound up leading to us promoting over the course since last May, May or June, whenever we started, over 100 shows in Southern Connecticut. So Nick actually didn't just rely on other people. We actually put it together ourselves so Nick could get a ton of stage time that he ordinarily wouldn't have had the opportunity to get. And it wound up that we're now running we started a club, an actual comedy club at a bar in South Norwalk, Connecticut, and Nick was getting up 4 or 5 times a week.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Wait, your comedy club, is it a week club or one night?
No, it started
one night a week.
Well, we started doing an open mic night in a bar out by us, and that was on a Monday. And then we had the opportunity to take over the basement of an actual nightclub a couple towns away, and went and started doing shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and that's what we were doing up until a month ago when all this stuff happened. And we were bringing out pretty decent headliners from Manhattan to headline our weekend shows, and it was going really well until all of this. So,
yeah.
Well, I don't recall. I just don't recall getting that call from you guys. I'm trying to think. Let me look back. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. That Axelrod from the Treehouse has got to be happy as fuck he sold his company.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. right time, right place. But you were absolutely will get those calls. It just, what we were doing was we had I've been in entertainment marketing my whole life. So I had a very specific plan on how I wanted to sort of get this club going to where we know we could maximize the audience. And, we started slow focusing on a lot of the local Connecticut talent to headline most of the shows that we did pre-January. And then January on, we started bringing out people that, like we were friendly with, like a Liz Mealy and a bunch of other people from the city. Frank Liotti headlined our last show, just to sort of tap into. He was very funny, to the relationships that we all personally had from being in the business, or Nick doing shows, and then a couple of our other partners are pretty active. But we had this grand plan, and it was all working, and literally the virus. We started going out to some bigger people. You obviously would have been on that list, or are on that list, and then the bottom fell out. So we'll see what happens when we get through this, and how we're able to pick it back up.
Can I say no now to it?
Sure. Rich, would you like to come out to South Norwalk, Connecticut on a Saturday for a little bit of money from New Jersey?
Okay. I'll do it on Skype.
That's fine. We have a screen.
We'll do Zoom. That'll be my set. Actually, I was in my living room. Well, I was looking on my backyard. I'm going, I could set up in the summer outdoor shows in my backyard, use my deck as a stage, and charge people to come and see stand up in my backyard when every club is closed.
Yeah.
If it's only 10 people at a time, I mean, the cover charge is going to be $300. But
hey, it's a private show. It's like a corporate gig.
yeah, bring your own fucking blanket, sit down. I might have to open the Rich Vos Comedy Club. Yeah.
Just can't give out the address.
Out my backyard.
You'll have to bust them in
true.
from of the train station and make them wear blindfolds when they get down to your street.
Like Survivor.
like a scene from Homeland.
Yeah. Any good heist movie. That's how you get to the Rich Vos Comedy Club.
I watch every degenerate TV show you possibly could watch. So, Homeland, Ozark, Queen of the South, Making of the Mob New York, Making of the Mob fucking Chicago, every Gomorrah, every fucking illegal gangster drug thug show you could possibly watch on TV right now. I have seen.
Tiger Shark? Tiger King?
Yeah. I mean, I just watch it with all the hype, but you could have done that docu-series in 3 fucking episodes or 2. It didn't have to be 7.
Yeah.
And they're putting out 2 more, I think.
Yeah.
They really stretched that out.
They got to capitalize, man. Everyone's stuck at home. It's all the memes on fucking social media. It's so big. There's so many parodies on TikTok. It's nuts, man. It really is.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm having anxiety now. I'm driving to Pennsylvania. I'm going to this archery store, which you go by appointment, so it's only one person allowed in at a time, to look at crossbows. And I'm having anxiety because I haven't driven this far in over a month. 2, I haven't left the state, which is only, right across the border where I'm going in Pennsylvania. But it's just giving me anxiety to go, like my daily, or not daily, or weekly, I go to Lowe's to get home improvement shit.
Yeah.
Or we go to the fucking supermarket. That's it. What else? Lowe's, home, Lowe's or whatever, or the other one, Home Depot. But Lowe's is by my house, or the supermarket. I haven't gone, anywhere else.
Yeah.
So this is giving me fucking anxiety. Driving to do this.
I want to see. So obviously you're a archery guy, which I didn't know or expect. I think the coming out party for our club with you should be an archery exhibition. We can Skype that.
Oh.
Like, how good are you?
Well, I mean, I have a compound bow. I'm pretty like I don't hunt. I just shoot at the target.
Right.
And I have a pretty large basement where I've been going in my basement. If I have a video, I'll send it. I mean, I could definitely. It depends how far you are. I mean, I think my compound bow. I think it's 50 or 60 pounds of pressure. So. It'll fucking kill you.
No, for sure.
I've never done a crossbow, so I'm just going to look. You can't get a gun permit in New Jersey. At least now you can, and even when you could, it was 3 or 4 pages of. It just seemed like a lot of work. And my wife said if I ever get a gun, she'll leave me. But I would have hit it. I would have got a shotgun and hit it. But when it all comes, down to anarchy in the streets, at least I'll have a crossbow, and I'll take 1 or 2 people out as they invade my property.
One at a time, like it's like a scene from.
Hold on,
Zombie.
you guys! I gotta reload. Hold on, I gotta reload. So.
Have you bought any? Have you bought any arrows from Bo Jackson that makes them in his basement?
Oh, you know what? I saw that online somewhere. No, but maybe I will.
Yeah, he's supposed to make like
buy
some
a
of the
couple.
best bows, arrows. I mean, it's pretty crazy. It was on like ESPN 30 for 30 or something on one of his things, and he like whittles them at it's insane. So let's.
I saw him on. But
No, I
go
was going
ahead.
to say you brought up Bonnie, and I'd love to talk about your podcast that you guys do together, which I've listened to a bunch of episodes and I've scanned through a bunch, and I have to tell you, like, it's amazing. It's so funny, and it just reminds me exactly of, and I'm sure a lot of people when they hear you guys banter back and forth of like their real lives. I just could never imagine doing that with my wife and putting it out there because there's no chance we'd make it to episode 2.
Well, I mean, yeah, we've done at least 350 of them. Now my daughter's joining in, so I'm being attacked by 2 people.
Oh, jeez.
You know, Bonnie and Mini Bonnie. I don't know. I mean, she carries the. I mean, I kind of set everything up, but she's really super funny on it. But she's also. I mean, we've had some blowout fights on our podcast. I mean, fucking, you know, where there's just blowouts.
Right.
And you know, and we like I'm not gonna, you know, it's got to be more personal because we can't go on and we talk about comedy, but we're not going to really trash people that we want to trash. I wouldn't, you know, want to put that out there.
Yeah, of course.
But you know, but I would love to, you know, if I had the, you know, what do you call it? You know, the I don't know the words of my. If I was Kevin Brennan, like Kevin Brennan is funny and he doesn't give a fuck. You know,
yeah.
You know, he'll smash whoever, and which is funny. He's funny and he's honest, but I just can't really do that because, and not with him. You expect it from him, but it would make us look bitter.
Right.
You know what I mean? If we started going after what we, you know, I'm sure there's musicians, actors that think other actors are hacks, and some actors are great, or some musicians are hacks, some are great. You know, and comics think that too. Comics go, oh, that comic is great, or that comic's a hack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't want to go. You know, amongst other comics, you might talk amongst your friends. You know, but you don't want to put that out there and you just it's just putting out too much negative energy.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's, you know.
And go ahead.
No, you finish.
And I'm a piece of shit, but you got to draw the line on being a, you know, scumbag.
Amen to that. I mean, it's, you know, listening to it, there was a couple things that it's just so relatable. Like there was one episode that I was listening to, I don't know which one it was, but Bonnie was giving you shit about packing for a show, or you didn't pack enough, or you packed too little or something. And it could have been word for word what my wife says to me when I travel a lot also. And she'll I'll be packing a bag. I'll be going away for 2 days, and I'll pack enough clothes in there for 3 weeks. And then on the other hand, I'll be going away for like a week, and I'll pack 1 t-shirt, 2 pairs of underwear, and a pair of jeans. And she just rips me nonstop and can't understand what the hell is in my head. And I'm listening to that, and she's busting your chops and questioning how you wring your underwear out in the sink in hotels. I'm like, this is exactly my life.
That's funny. I don't know. I mean, I'm a professional clothes packer. I almost said packer, but people would have taken that wrong.
And we would have used it.
So I was probably telling her that she packs wrong, and she's arguing. You know, she just takes her clothes and stuffs it in a suitcase. Like I fold it, roll it up, and I get every inch of that suitcase. You know, I'll put my socks or belts in the sneaker to get extra room.
Yeah, same.
And I'll put underwear and t-shirts. I'll roll up and I'll put them in my hats.
Yep.
See, I'm a pro when it comes to that packing. That fucking broad I'm married to, you know, will just stuff her shit in her suitcase, and you know, and also when she eats food, like crackers or apples, she chews so fucking loud. I want to put an ice pick in the side of her fucking mouth. I recorded her. I recorded her yesterday as we're sitting there. She's eating like these crackers and hummus, and I have it recorded on my phone. You can hear the chewing in her mouth, and it makes you want to fucking take a machete and just fucking rip her. Anyhow, it's. I mean, they say it's some kind of not a disease. Just like people suffer from. I don't know what it's called. Where they hear people chewing.
Husband annoyance.
Oh, the
What's
ASMR? Is it the ASMR stuff?
I don't know what it's fucking called. That's why I said look it up.
I think like people watching people eat or like the sounds they make. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's so weird. Ugh.
Yeah, like I know I suffer from it. Like I could be in a restaurant, hear somebody or watch them eat, and just want to go up and fucking put a hatchet in their head. Not the violent way, but just maybe to teach them a little lesson.
Yeah, just a little stab in the back, the fat of your back. But I can tell you that happened to me this morning. I'm not joking. I have the exact same affliction you have, and I'm trying to like type out some stuff, do a little work. My wife comes, sits in my office, and sits down with a cup of coffee and is slurping that cup of coffee like it's the last cup of coffee on earth. And I'm like, can you go in another fucking room with that cup of coffee? If not, I'm going to smash it over your head. And she's like, why? And I'm like, it's the most could not be more annoying right now. Like you couldn't do anything else more annoying. And of course that led to her not talking to me for the rest of the day.
Oh, I know. It's just like we're sitting watching a movie or TV and my daughter's on and all of this is just one person going after the other. My daughter's she's 12, walking around all day long doing this fucking TikTok dance, okay? And I want to fucking, what are you, a little hoochie mama? Quit the fucking dance, all right? It's just, look, you're not a Kardashian. Relax. I want to, I don't know. I mean, we keep busy, we do everything, but boy, and I drive them nuts, but whatever.
How do your kids compete's the wrong word, but with you and Bonnie in any house, let alone a house with their parents, I mean, you're two of the funniest people on earth. Like, how do your kids even heads not spin around? Like, how do they get by on a daily basis, knowing if you're serious, not serious, breaking their chops, really want to kill them? Like, I can only imagine how much of a mind fuck it is living with the two of you who are it blows my mind.
Well, my older daughters are, almost 30 and 28, so they grew up. And they're all fucked up in the head. My middle daughter, my 20, has a great sense of humor. Like my oldest daughter, when she was 7, I picked her up from school. She got in the car, and I go, "Oh, I have a surprise. I bought you a brand new bicycle when we get home." And then I went April Fools, and tears were just pouring down her face. So I kind of knew she didn't have the sense. I kind of knew she didn't have the sense of humor as my middle daughter. My middle daughter, we were going out to eat one night, I guess 2 years ago, and she called me. She's at the restaurant. She goes, "Are you coming?" I go, "Well, not into a sock." But and she just started cracking up. So she has a better sense of humor. Now, my youngest daughter, Raina, the 12, has an amazing sense of humor. We'll just sit there and she'll, say, "Oh, listen to this or that," and then me and Bono go, "We both hate you." And she'll just start cracking up, she'll say something to her, we go, "We hate you." And and she'll just start laughing. But she's definitely a little Bonnie.
That's
Whatever Bonnie attacks me for, so does she.
wow.
She's just she copies her mom.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, I know. 3 fucking daughters.
Oh my God.
3 daughters.
Man, that's gonna be wild.
I don't shout. Anyhow, I gotta run because I'm getting close to where I'm going, and I gotta put my GPS. Well, hold on. I put my GPS. Let me see. Let's see. Recent addresses. How far am I? Hold on.
Crossbows are us.
I can't turn left. Yeah.
Well, listen, Rich, we really, really appreciate you coming on with us.
Yeah, thank you.
You must have had something amazing in your food the other day when you agreed to do this with us. So whatever it is, thank you very, very much. You're one of my absolute favorite comedians for a long time. And really couldn't appreciate it more. I'm sure I speak for Nick in saying the same thing. And
for sure, man. Thank you so much for taking this time.
Hopefully you find what you're looking for in that bow store, and it's worth the drive.
I almost completely, and I can't believe I didn't do it, hang up on you during that fucking little ending of yours.
I wish you did.
I was going for it, and
I couldn't find the hang up button on my phone real quick enough.
Damn it! I was hoping you would.
That would have been so perfect.
It would have made my year.
I know.
It would have made my year.
No, I called Fiona. I asked about you guys, and he said, "Do it. You're nice guys." The only reason I almost didn't do it is because of one of the guests you had, I'm not a fan of. But I said, because I hate to be promoted with this person on a website, but I had to get past that. My, person I dislike, and whatever. And
well,
I was bored.
I'm very happy you were bored, and I think that's why I really appreciate your honesty as a comedian and a person, and it's fantastic. And so have a nice day, finding the right bow and arrows, and drive safe, and most importantly, stay healthy for you and your family and everybody.
Yeah, be ready for the zombie
And
apocalypse.
also, and thank you. And listen to My Wife Hates Me on Riotcast, or go to bossroast.com. It's free on YouTube now. It's the best roast you'll ever see, I promise.
Awesome.
It's on YouTube. We put it up for free.
Yeah, we'll put all that in the notes.
Guys. All right, go fuck yourself. Bye.
Thanks, Rich.